play. Guess who? Body up the middle, making another move to the outside. 15, 10, end zone again.
Keeps it. Nice move by Brown. He's got space. He's got 6. 35-yard touchdown for Byron Brown. A record-setting night for the South Florida quarterback.
Third down so far. A little bit of a high snap. Genty right up the middle. Genty has room. Ashton Genty. Give him 6.
Second and long. Lagar tries to fit it in. Runnels, it does. Runnels stays up. The Suns offense 4-3 wins. Incredible effort for Runnels.
The G5 Hive. All G5, all the time.
Welcome to the G5 Hive Live. We're excited to bring you the G5 college football coverage you love each and every week. I am Luke, and I'm joined by my co-host, Justice. It's only taken all year long, but I've kind of figured out the finger pointing. I got it. We are only 3 subscribers away from 500 on YouTube, so wherever you are watching or listening to us, we would greatly appreciate you heading over to YouTube and hitting that subscribe button. The G5 Hive merchandise stores is now live. Link in the YouTube comments, as well as pinned to our X page in the bottom of the screen here. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button like I mentioned earlier. And if you're watching us on X, please give us a follow, a like, and a retweet. And if you're listening to us in podcast form, please rate and review. 5 stars only. We don't want anything less than a 5-star. Just like everything that we give you each and every week, 5 stars, nothing less. All right, let's move over to our G5 bowl game previews. We've got some bowl games to get ready for. We have the IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl coming up. South Alabama versus Western Michigan in Montgomery, Alabama, Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Injury-wise, what you need to know. South Alabama, we're going to know a little bit more as practice goes on this week because they had the off week, etc. Last time we saw South Alabama on the field, Gio Lopez was hobbling. He had some crutches. He had a boot on. He's been battling a turf toe. I am under the assumption that he's going to give it a go. Then they have guys in the transfer portal. They're going to allow those guys to play from a team, school perspective. Now, whether they do or not, up to them. Again, I don't know who will play versus who won't. We're going to find out more of that stuff as practice goes on this week. It's a Monday. Tuesdays when we're going to find out a lot more information going on there. Western Michigan, I don't have any injuries to note as of right now.
Yeah, pay attention to follow our X account if you're interested in players that may or may not play. As we see that stuff, we always retweet it or tweet it out. Players to know. So when South Alabama has the ball, it starts with their quarterback, Gio Lopez. If Gio Lopez is not able to go, then it would be Bishop Davenport. But Gio Lopez, he means a lot to this team. He's their leader. He's a dual threat quarterback. He has 2,559 yards passing, 18 passing touchdowns on the year. On the ground, he has 465 yards rushing and 7 rushing touchdowns through the year. They've been they're running back. They take a committee approach, and they've had 2 running backs that had outstanding seasons this year. And Fluff Bothwell, true freshman, was on our G5 all freshman team, and then Kentrell Bullock. Fluff Bothwell is in the portal. Whether he plays or not, we don't know. My gut says he's probably not going to play. I wouldn't expect him to play. And that just would mean more carries for Kentrell Bullock. But they both had outstanding years. Fluff Bothwell, 832 yards rushing, 13 touchdowns. Kentrell Bullock, 701 yards rushing, and 6 touchdowns. So if Fluff does not play, I personally don't expect him to play. I just think we'll just see more Kentrell Bullock. And then, when they're throwing the ball, Jamal Pritchett. Jamal Pritchett's had an outstanding year. one of the best receivers in the G5. He had 91 receptions, 1,127 yards, and 9 touchdowns. He's clearly their number one option, but they have capable number 2s and number 3s, and Jeremiah Webb and Devin Vosen, friend of the show. And so, South Alabama is a fun team. If you haven't watched them, hopefully Gio Lopez is healthy, because when he is healthy, this is a fun team to watch. He's dynamic. They got playmakers at running back, playmakers at receiver, and so I look for South Alabama to just kind of pour it on offensively. When South Alabama has the ball, the Western Michigan players to know, they're led on defense by linebacker Donald Willis, their leading tackler this year, 99 tackles, 1 sack, 4 pass defense. They're also led by safety Tate Hollick, who actually just got approved for another year and says now he will return in 2025. He has 78 tackles and 4 interceptions on the year, so he's great in coverage, great in run support. And then their cornerback, Balil Cone, a great cover guy. He actually got invited to the Senior Bowl. He had 63 tackles, 7 pass defenses, and an interception on the year. And then if you're looking for the guy along the defensive line that's going to cause problems, well, I would tell you that's Corey Walker. He's their leading sack guy this year with 5.5. But Corey Walker is in the transfer portal. No idea if he's going to play or not. Other guys to know along the defensive line: Mason Nelson, 2 sacks, Ontario Thompson, 1 sack, and then a guy that hasn't had a sack on the year, but was a high level recruit at Louisville, transferred to Western Michigan in the offseason, and perhaps if Corey Walker doesn't play, we'll see some more playing time for Popeye Williams. When Western Michigan has the ball, it starts with their quarterback, Hayden Wolf, 2,214 yards passing with 17 touchdowns. He is not a runner. He's got negative 112 rushing yards. In college, they count sacks, lost yards or sacks against the rushing. He is not a runner at all. But they have a trio of running backs, all more than capable of busting out, having a huge game. Jaden Nixon, the transfer from Oklahoma State, 874 yards, 12 touchdowns on the year. Jalen Buckley, the redshirt freshman, had an outstanding season a year ago, 657 yards, 8 touchdowns this year. And then Zahir Abdul Salam, 567 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. That's their offense really goes through their running game. They will look to get those guys running. When they are passing the ball, their number one option is receiver Kenny Womack. He had 34 catches for 456 yards and a touchdown on the year. And their second option, their number one red zone option, tight end Blake Bosma, is in the transfer portal. Again, no idea if he's going to play. No idea if Western Michigan is going to allow their players to play. But that Blake Bosma would be a huge loss for this offense. He led them in receptions with 37, was second in yards with 403, and was first in receiving touchdowns with 6. So if we see any news on Walker or Bosma on whether they're going to play or not, we will certainly tweet that out. On defense for South Alabama, when Western Michigan has the ball, they're led by their middle linebacker, Blaine Myrick, 92 tackles on the year, 2 sacks, and an interception. And then they got an outstanding secondary led by Jaden Vosen, 75 total tackles, 5 interceptions on the year. One of the best safeties in the G5. He's Devin Vosen's twin brother. They have a pair of outstanding cornerbacks in Jordan Scruggs and Amarian Fortenberry. Amarian Fortenberry was on our all-freshman team. He had 41 tackles on the year and an interception. And then they also have Ladarius Webb Jr., safety, also had an outstanding year. If you're looking for the guys that are going to get after the quarterback, that would go to edge rusher Courtney McBride Jr., 37 tackles, 5 sacks on the year. And those are the players you kind of need to know for this game. The spread is currently South Alabama -8 with an over/under of 58.5. And unless I hear news that Gio Lopez is not playing, I'm going with South Alabama -8. Western Michigan has not played well down the stretch. They started off gangbusters. I think they started off like in MAC play anyway. They were like 5-1, and then they just kind of
they had the MAC championship kind of in their sights there with about 3.
They were in first place and they just fell apart the last few weeks.
The 58.5 is kind of interesting in the sense of just how fast Western Michigan plays. I could see this going over, but I think I will play the under in this sense. I like the spread. I like South Alabama -8. But yeah, I would take the under if I were to bet that.
Yeah, I think if I was going to bet something, I'm taking the South Alabama -8. Because I think that over/under really depends on which Western Michigan team shows up, right?
And what if there are opt-outs, who those opt-outs are.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't actually I guess the way I think about it, I don't ever expect the transfer guys to play. That's kind of how I approach things, but who knows what they're going to do or what the school wants them to do. So stay tuned. If we see that news, we will certainly post it on our X account.
All right. A little bit shorter of a show for us this week. Thank you all for tuning in all year long. But come back and join us next week as we discuss what happened in that Army-Navy game and the salutes to Veteran Bowl, as well as look forward to the next set of G5 Bowl games. And as always, we bring you up to date on all the latest news and happenings in the world of G5 college football. Again, if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. We are 3 away from 500. Help us get to 500. If you're watching us on X, please give us a retweet, a like, and a follow. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, please subscribe. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. Thank you all for your support. Until next time, we are the G5 Hive.